Cruise news time. Well, let me just say thanks. Thanks, Carnival. Thanks for pouring salt in the wound. Thanks for pouring salt in the wound that is known as forced cruise ship tipping. Cruise news. Let's talk about it.
Look, I'm not saying that this water closet area is a challenge to get into, but let's look at the numbers. 18 inches. 18 inches, that's pretty tight.
18 inches. Ow. Look, I know I'm a big guy, but that seems tight. Does that work for anybody? Yikes, I think I have a bruise. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Lido, Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news updates, and today I am on the promenade deck of the Norwegian Dawn, and we're docked in the lovely town of Cozumel, and the breakaway is right next to us. So now that you have that context, let me get into what is the most annoying cruise news story of the day. It could be the only cruise news story that we're going to talk about, but yes, shocker, much like Norwegian Cruise Line did, Carnival has now raised the price of their forced, and I mean forced, crammed down your throat, forced gratuities. That's not the only prices they raised. There's another item that I'm even more kind of annoyed at, and so I will share that with you in just a second, but let me give you the deets on the story. We have a statement. The thing that bothers me is sometimes these cruise companies, look, I've worked in large corporations. I understand that from a leadership perspective, you got to frame the conversation. You got to frame the conversation for buy-in. You got to make people feel okay about the stuff that you're putting on them. I'm not claiming there's any insincerity in this statement from the COO, the Chief Operating Officer, Neil Palomba from Carnival Cruise Line, but I'm just saying, listen to this message and we will dissect it. Palomba said this: effective with all cruises departing on or after May the 1st, 2022, we are adjusting our recommended onboard gratuity guidelines. It's not a huge increase, to be fair. For standard staterooms, the new price will be $14.50. For suites, it will be $16.50. It used to be $13.99 and $15.99. So not a huge adjustment. And look, I would be fine if they just told me that the price is going up, but it's all this other buy-in language that they use to make, I guess, the blow of sticking their hand into my pocket a little further less intrusive. Neil Palomba goes on to say, our shipboard team members work hard to provide exceptional and friendly service, so we hope that you will agree that this slight increase is well-deserved. Guests may prepay their gratuities at the current rates and save on other onboard services by accessing My Cruise Manager using the Reserve Now button below. I don't think there could have been any clearer buy-in language than saying, don't you agree that this price increase is good because our crew members work hard and they deserve money? And I love how easily the leadership of the cruise lines use this message about shouldn't we reward hard-working crew members, as if anybody's gonna say no, we should not reward hard-working crew members. But the philosophical question is, should you go into my pocket to give your crew members a pay increase, or should the billion-dollar corporation do it? This message is crazy because it only applies to tipped employees. Like, where is the additional press release that said for non-tipped employees, we're also giving that crew member an increase in their contract? I haven't seen it. Maybe they're doing it, but why the rah-rah cheerleading session for only tipped employees? Is it because the way that you get more money for the tipped employees is to go deeper into our own pockets? I think the forced gratuity system is a broken system because not everybody has to do it. It even says further in the Carnival letter that you can go to guest services and adjust the gratuity if you want. So they're saying, look, we want to increase the forced gratuity, but we're not going to force you to do it. The cruise line knows that there'll be people that remove their tip. And I've heard the argument, oh, I only tip well for great service. Look, I've worked in the service industry. I've worked for tips before. And there are people out there, and I hope you're not one of them, there are people out there that will give a crappy tip no matter what level of service you give. I've been there. I've done that. I've done cartwheels for people and got stiff. I always make sure that I do my forced gratuities, and then I always tip above and beyond that because These crew members are working hard. Passenger doesn't have the ability to give everybody on the cruise ship, every crew member, extra money. You know who could do that? The cruise line. So the fact that this whole forced tipping system exists opens the door for people to stiff crew members. I'll say it again. If you are really interested in making sure that all of your crew members make more money for the hard work that they do, then give them an increase in the contract. Well, if we give the crew members an increase in the contract, then the base cruise price will go up. Well, guess what? If you increase the amount of tips I am forced to pay, the price of my cruise has gone up also. If you put it in the contract, you will eliminate the non-payers and you will ensure that your crew gets paid properly because you will control it. I got to get off this soapbox because look, normally these rants don't really get my blood pressure up, but this one does. And this isn't the only thing I'm kind of upset about today. I've got 2 more price increases to tell you about. One of them I really am not excited about. But first, let me calm down. Let me quickly invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything that's going on in cruising, and normally it's not just this rantings and ravings of a madman, a cruise madman, cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. All right, 2 other price increases. The drink package is going up. I did a poll recently. 75% of people that go on cruises, they drink. I don't know what percentage of that get the drink package, but for a large majority of people, the price of the drink package is going up. And you know what else the price is going up on? The Wi-Fi. They're raising prices on Wi-Fi. The gumption it takes to raise the price on. Have you ever used cruise ship Wi-Fi? Very rarely do you find some peppy, really great cruise ship Wi-Fi. Most of the experience of Wi-Fi on the cruise ship harkens back to the early days of the internet where you had to dial up to the internet, maybe a little faster than that. But how dare you? How dare you? Gonna charge me more for crappy Wi-Fi? It's like when my grandma used to give me 2 cups in a string. Could you imagine if grandma made you pay an extra $1 for one of those cups? Holy moly. Look, I understand inflation. I understand business. I understand prices are going up everywhere, but man, you're gonna charge me more for crappy internet? I know there's some people out there like, oh, you shouldn't be using the internet while you're on a cruise. Cruising is about being calm down, Grandpa. I'm 50 years old. I'm part of the first generation that used the internet, and it's what I like. I paid my money, and if I want to use the internet on the cruise ship, I'll use the internet on the cruise ship. Look, I don't use the bars. How about that? But I would never say you should only have 1 beer selection, or you should only have a watered-down scotch. It's the same thing. You're giving me crappy internet and charging me more for it? Ugh. Boom, that's your cruise news. What do you think? Leave a comment below. Look, I hope you enjoyed the show. I think I enjoyed it. I think it was good for me. Was it good for you? Look, if it was good for you, do me a favor. Hit the like button. It shows support for the channel. And look, if you don't hit the like button, unfortunately, I'll be forced to punish you. And your punishment will be this. You'll pay an exorbitant amount for your internet, and it won't work at all. And you'll go tell them at the customer service desk, and they'll be like, yep, that's just the internet. Thanks for the money. That could be a real punishment. This is Tony for Lido, Loca. Until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.